I pay respects to all the awakened ones of past, the awakened ones of the future, and the awakened ones of the present. The wisdom that comes out, I can 100% certainly say it is not mine. Perhaps you had given me in my past birth. You could be one of my teachers in my future births. The whole wisdom, it keeps on getting transferred to each other in our journey of our soul. In one life, we were just rocks. The rocks, the stones, slowly while evolving into the higher states of consciousness, become plants. Plants to animals. Animals to barbarians. The crude species of human beings. And slowly we become the Buddha, the awakened one. In this transition, in this journey of our soul, there is absolute rationality. To tell you about my background, I too have 16 degrees altogether, including a doctorate, but I found them all useless. The knowledge of the self, the knowledge of your soul is your ultimate wisdom. The states of consciousness, you are evolving to higher states, it is all rational and scientific. In spirituality, it is said we are 5 shariras, panchakosha, annamaya kosa, pranamaya kosa, manomaya kosa, vijnanamaya kosa and anandamaya kosha. Anna, the food, the material is your first layer. Prana is your second layer. Manomaya, the mind, is your third layer. Vijnanamaya, the wisdom. And the fifth is the bliss. We are totally, grossly you can call, there is a gross body, the subtle body, causal body. The causal body is carrying your mind. Patanjali, he says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The removal of mental modifications is yoga. The mind, when it is the purest state of stillness, absolutely still water, it can reflect itself. One stone is dropped in that silent water, ripples are formed. One pratyaya, the spiritual language is one pratyaya, mental content, it will cause ripples inside your mind. When we are evolving, mind is not your real nature. You are simply the body. The causation for the mind is the unlived body is the reason for your mind. Whenever you did not live your life properly, the body is not living your life, the mind starts forming, the thoughts start arising. So, the mind is just the unlived body. Mind is called vritti pravaha iti manaha. The flow of thoughts is mind. The flow of thoughts is mind, but are you the mind? You are the space between the thoughts. Your real nature is your soul. Your real nature is your soul, and body is the gross that is attached to this. When the mind comes in between the soul and the body, your impurities multiply. You get into what is called as a sequence of mental modifications. Lot of impurities keep on adding into you. Then slowly, the partially conscious mind, you should be the purest conscious mind. From that, slowly unconscious mind, subconscious mind, partially conscious mind. But if you can be conscious, super conscious, the turiya, that is the awakened. The turiya, the fourth state of existence, the dot in the Om, avuma. Beyond that avuma, that dot is the most important thing. That dot is the turiya. Now, all our mind, the mind whatever you see today, this is responsible for all our problems. What is that in our mind? Mind means past and future only. Mind exists in the past and future. In the present, you do not have what is called as mind. The moment you are in the present, only the soul is there. When the thought comes in between you and the soul, already you are either shifting to the past or to the future. The intuition, the soul's capacity is intuition. Body's capacity is instinct. Mind's capacity is intellect. The intuition is dummified, because of the intellect, the mind and its modifications. All the knowledge is simply has to be dropped. We acquire knowledge to drop the knowledge. Pramana, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra and Smriti. Everything has to be dropped. Right knowledge, wrong knowledge, false knowledge, past knowledge, no knowledge. Everything has to be dropped. Knowledge stops, knowing happens. Knowledge of the flower stops knowing the flower. See the mystery of our spirituality. The child is absolutely is considered to be God. That is why child is always called as God. His total, his look is total, his hearing is total, his smelling is total, his tasting is total, his touching is total. See any child, when his mind has not formed, below 3 years, the mind has not formed. That is the time when you are totally with your instincts, you have intuition, absolutely, and so full, he tastes so like a God. He touches it because no thoughts are there in between him and the object. Now, the knowledge of the flower is stopping us in knowing the flower. The moment you are looking at a rose, the word rose will stop knowing the rose, experiencing the rose. You think that I know the rose and you look elsewhere. The knowledge of the sunrise will stop you in experiencing the sunrise. That is why in spirituality, all the mental modifications have to be dropped. Everything, all the knowledge, this is, Muhammad says, all the scriptures are carrying tons of load on the donkey. It has to be dropped. And this dropping, removal of the mental modifications happen only in your meditation. All the past chitta vrittis are removed. The first sutra of Patanjali, he says, before the yogas chitta vritti nirodha, he says, atah yoganushasanam. Atah yoganushasanam, the here and now is yoga. And how here and now happens? The moment and the space, the time and space of here and now can take place only when there is no past and no future. Atah yoganushasanam. That is why atato in Brahma Sutras, atato Brahma Jignasa. The first sutra is atato Brahma Jignasa. Here and now. Here and now, this moment is so tiny, it is timeless and spaceless. It is just in between the past and in between the future. It is absolutely no time and no space. That is the state, and that is the reason for the even Tirupati Balaji is holding the time and space in his hands. The wheel is the time and conch is the space. The movement of space is the sound and movement of the wheel is called the time. You are in the timeless and spaceless zone, and this happens in meditation and also when you are crossing these 7 hills. And these 7 hills are the same 7 hills of the Tirupati. Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipuri, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya, Sahasrara. The same. These 7 chakras are the 7 hills. Lot of mystery is hidden. Balaji, Bala means the energy. Bala Tripura Sundari, the Shri Yantra, the 9 states of consciousness is the same meditative process that takes place, and the same states of higher states of consciousness are discussed in spirituality. So, we should only be meditative to arrive at that. That is why in history, the whole of history, everybody, every country talks about, everybody, because throughout the world, when you are not able to understand this, you will be in suffering and misery. The suffering and misery can be removed only with meditation. No form of governments, whole world has tried lot of systems of government, democracy, autocracy, aristocracy, socialism, communism, but could the human being remove the suffering? They cannot. The society will not have the Atma. Only the individual has the Atma. If the whole forest has to change, the individual has to change. Each tree has to be nourished to change the forest. And that will happen when the whole world makes it a practice to remove their samskaras through meditation. There won't be boundaries between the countries. All the parochial methodology what you find, the jealousy, violence, mistrust, wars will all stop, and there will be only universal religion, and that religion is peace and happiness. And all the masters of the past, maybe in India, maybe Arabia, maybe England, maybe America, each mystic did their own methodology to remove the same suffering. They were teaching only these meditation. Each was trying to climb the mountain from different direction. The peak, the apex part is one and the same. No religion will fight against the other. No rituals, there is no fight between the rituals now. Somebody wears a black color or white color or no color, somebody is growing a beard, or somebody is growing a mustache, or somebody is wearing a suit, or hardly it is immaterial. We need to change and transform the internal, the within, and this takes place only with meditation and spirituality and real self realization. Soul awakening takes place, and whole humanity, Vishwa Kutumbam, will become a reality. And this was taught by our Sanatana Dharma, and once again we should join, and the whole world should be meditative, and this tool of meditation should be spread across to remove all the boundaries, geographical boundaries, all the jealousies, all the wars, all the hatred, mistrust can be removed only with one tool of meditation, and it will not change any religion. As a Christian, you will become a good Christian. As a Hindu, you will become a good Hindu. As a Muslim, you will become a good Muslim. As a Sikh, you will become a good Sikh. As a Jaina, you will become a good Jaina. And whole humanity will be a heaven on earth. I wish you all the best. God bless you.